David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I've found a new passion to go with all my other passions. I'm passionate about a lot of things. My new passion is sharpening knives. Fuck, it is good. There is something fucking meditative about it. It's so relaxing. I sharpen knives for a little bit in the morning now, maybe about half an hour. And then throughout the day, whenever I'm starting to feel stressed, whenever there's a baby crying, my kid running around screaming, my wife asking me about some dumb fucking brunch I've got to go to, I just walk straight into the kitchen now and start sharpening knives. And it also has the unforeseen benefit of scaring the fuck out of your family. Where's Dad? He's in the kitchen sharpening knives again. It's the 15th time today. And here's a tip for you. You want the stone. You want that fucking rectangle stone. You don't want the steel fucking rod thing, the phallic symbol. That's all right, it's fine, but it doesn't give the sound. You want that sound. The sheesh, 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 sheesh. That's not even close. But you want that sound of steel scraping against fine stone, rhythmically. It calms you down and it calms the family down as well. Well, it scares the family. It calms you down. But you want that echoing through the house. The sound is the key. The only problem is now I'm running out of knives. I've fucking sharpened every knife in the house. That's how I fell into my passion, knife sharpening. I've got some good knives. Or they at least told me at the store they're fucking supposedly good knives. They're those knives you get that look good. They're marked down from like $900 to like $80. But they're always $80. They're always marked down. They're never actually the full price. But I had bought the knife sharpening shit ages ago to sharpen the knives, and I fucking winged it one day and I destroyed one of the knives. I completely fucked up one of the knives. I just scratched the fuck out of it, and it was blunter than it was before I started sharpening it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to take a YouTube tutorial. And I just never got around to it, and the knives got progressively worse and worse until I could barely cut through a fucking cucumber. So I'm like, well, these knives are fucked. I can't be bothered taking a YouTube tutorial. I'm just going to wing this knife sharpening. And I don't know what happened, but the knife sharpening just made sense. It made sense to me. First, I got that steel rod out, and I'm like, I don't even know how to use it. Who gives a fuck? You can't fuck these knives up any more than they are. So I just started Bruce Leeing this fucking rod, and it started getting sharper. I'm like, fuck, am I a natural knife sharpener? And I kept going on the rod, and I'm like, well, it's getting sharper, but it's not at the level I would like it. And then I found the stone, and that just changed my life. I picked up the stone, and it just made sense. I knew what to do. There's a coarse side, and then there's a finer side. What you want to do is you want to get the general shape with the coarse side, and then flip it over to the fine side, and then hone it, master it, mold it. Become the knife. I love it. But now I've run out of knives, so I'm going to have to fucking hit the butter knives. Maybe I'll sharpen a spoon. I'll sharpen the edge of a spoon so I can just fucking get into those kiwi fruits. Now knife sharpening is my new passion. I'm going to start spending a little bit of money on it. Because the stone I've got, I think I bought it for like $2 at some fucking Chinese store. I need a Japanese imported stone. I think this has potential to lead me into making samurai swords down the track. I'm just going to keep open-minded about it. I'm just happy that I've found another passion. You can never have too many fucking passions. All right, let's get into Fucked Up Fridays now. It's another Friday night. We are approaching the Christmas holidays, Christmas parties, office get-togethers. This is the time of year people should be making some Fucked Up Friday stories. Use Fucked Up Fridays as an inspiration and get one to me. If you want to send one in, hit me up on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just send it on in. Okay, so this week's Fucked Up Friday story was sent in from the fucking UK. He hasn't mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure he wants to remain anonymous. I won't say his name, but what does he like? I think this guy likes Kings of Leon, or maybe he likes giving rim jobs. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to it. This week's Fucked Up Friday. I fucking miss house parties. The period of time from when you're like 14 to when you're 18. Oh man, they are the best. I can't wait for my kids to turn 14 so I can start rocking up to house parties again. And he continues, it's an absolute golden window for dumb underage parties at whoever's dumb fuck parents were stupid enough to leave their kid at home whilst they went on holidays, etc. Yeah, I never understood that. I never understood how there were house parties. I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind? Every single weekend, we had like 5 house parties to choose from. Every weekend. And every single house party, some fucked up shit would happen. 100%. Every single time. And yet, the very next weekend, there would be 5 more people throwing house parties. I truly never understood it. At the end of every weekend, I'm like, surely that's the end of house parties. We fucking burnt the house down. We smashed every window in the house, we stole the stereo, and we let down the tires of every single car in the street. Surely no one's going to throw a party next week. Anyway, let's get back to the fucking story, eh? Okay, so this story involves me, my old mate Steve, who I don't see as much anymore. In brackets, hit me up, Steve. Steve, fucking hit him up. Steve, he's trying to communicate with you through podcast. You mean something to him. So we got invited to one of these parties. Think we were about 16 at the time. The usual business. A load of underage cunts drinking their 4-pack of cider, probably bought by their parents, only to move on to chugging spirits that some nitty had managed to get hold of. So yeah, the long and the short of it was, I was necking off with some girl I kind of knew from school. Nice work, bruz. While Steve was necking off with her mate. Good work, Steve-o. Neither girls were that fit. Oh, boys, doesn't matter, you're 14. You're experimenting. And when I say experimenting, I mean just take whatever the fuck you can get, bruz. So neither girls were that fit, but who gives a fuck? We were smashed and we thought we were the biggest fucking legends ever. That's the spirit. Comes towards the end of the night and there's a bunch of us up in the basement area in this posh house. Everyone's pissed and it's kind of dark. I'm cuddling with this same girl and we're like under a blanket. I'm the horniest I've ever been. Thought my shaft was about to explode at any moment. Steve is still with this other girl, but from what I can hear on the other side of the basement is that they're kind of awkwardly chatting, so that shit is going nowhere. What the fuck are you doing, Steve? Talking about your electives? Just get it out, Steve. So the next thing that happens, and I can't remember why the fuck it happened, but Steve and the girl I was necking off with kind of go downstairs to see where everyone else is or some shit. Hold on, Steve took your girl downstairs. How did he manage that? Was he like, hey, who wants to see a real cool stamp collection? I remember being a bit confused as to why Steve's pull of the night stayed up in the basement. I think you mean up in the attic, brother. But that all becomes very clear when she scoots over to me and immediately starts giving me a blowy. Well, that works. That fucking works. And then he's got in brackets here, bearing in mind I was a little virgin with 0 sexual experience, so it feels like I might be about to fucking ascend at any moment. So she's sucking me off. So she's sucking me off with a fair amount of teeth. Oh! Fucking throw her out of the basement. Throw her out the fucking window of the 3rd-story basement. So she's sucking me off with a fair amount of teeth, so it's going nowhere. Yeah, no shit. You got to course correct that. You got to go, excuse me, but this blowjob feels like a grater. You're grating my carrot. Instead of grating my carrot, do you reckon you can try and think of my knob as a lollipop? Okay, back to the story again. Suddenly, we hear people coming up the stairs, and it's all the other ratlies coming up from wherever they were hiding whilst this was going on. She jumps to the other side of the room, leaving me to shamefully cram my micro penis back into its home. We both act like nothing's happened, and before you know it, the lass I was previously necking off with is back for some more shit kissing. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, did I? And Steve, who is none the wiser, is also necking off with his bird. Nice. Steve is none the wiser to the fact that my little micro chode was in that same orifice mere moments ago. Don't worry, Steve. We've all kissed a girl that's just blown one of our friends. We've all done it. Seems like a big deal when you're young, but as you get older, you're like, I'm not even going to kiss you unless you blow my friend. Sometimes you can see too much, Steve, and you can't unsee what you've seen. Anyway, in true gangster fashion, my mum picked me up the next morning and asked me why I seemed a bit shaken up. You're a bit shaken up. It's safe to say I didn't share the finer details with her. You should have. You should have asked her. Mum, when you were younger, did you give teethy head? And she would have just turned to you and said, son, I've sucked a lot of dick in my time. And I can tell you this right now. Not a single tooth of mine ever landed on a dick. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for sending in the Fucked Up Friday story. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see ya the fuck later.